Some tribes in the Omo Valley are starved of rain, but these hills are generally one of the wetter areas. The Hamar are successful farmers as well as herders, and they've recently had a good harvest of their staple crop, sorghum. Back in Jamu's hut, his mother is grinding some. The Hamar use this to make beer for their ceremonies. Now, you must teach me. Okay, so it's just... Men don't usually do women's work, but she lets me have a go. I think I've taken twice as long, well 3 times as long as she would have done. But in many ways, in this culture, I'm especially going to try and suss out a female perspective on what goes on, especially with this whipping thing that's really got me intrigued. So as much as possible, I'm going to try and become one of the girls, if they'll let me, if that's in any way acceptable or feasible. I'm going to make that my aim, I think. Everyone's in watching now. Today, Jamu's cousin Suri is going to show me how to jump the cattle. Hi guys. But first, I'm kitted out in a Hamar wrap and belt. So wear this.
Now he looks like a hammer. Hammer guy.
We line up a couple of cows for Suri to jump over. Okay. So, yeah, we got it tight. Hey! My God, that is quite good. So he doesn't use his hands. Wow! Yeah, God, that is quite a big leap. Yeah. Don't worry, mister. Don't worry. Wow, I can't believe they're going to make me do this. Remember your shoes. Suri's father, Gopher, looks on with the rest of the family. This one's a little bit easier.
Yeah. Now nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. My Lord. That bull looked huge. I was like, how on earth is little Brucey going to get up on that? It's not the steadiest of platforms, and yeah, it's gets the old ticker going. It's a proper event, there's no doubt. After the practice, Suri says I can jump the cattle during his actual ceremony. I thought this would be off limits, but he seems fine about it. Gopher warns that it's one thing to have a go with 2 cows, but quite another to do it for real. But even so, it's quite... Though Suri and his father are happy for me to jump the cattle, I need to get permission from one very important person. Is there a respectful name I can give her? Suri's grandmother, Alo, has been head of the family ever since her husband passed away. Hamar women marry young and often survive their husbands, so many households are headed by old ladies like Alo. She has spiritual as well as practical responsibility. Performing rituals like this naming ceremony, welcoming another grandchild into the family. Alo has real power. If she refuses to take part in the ritual, the baby will be cursed. When the ceremony is over, I ask her if I can jump the cattle with Suri. Okay. How does this reflect in your relationship? I ask her how she feels about girls being whipped before the cattle jump. The next day, I have breakfast at the home of one of Suri's aunts. I'm getting to know more of his extended family. This morning we've got a beautiful, like a bread, which is really nice, with some sour milk, which just goes down a treat. And then a bit of coffee to finish off. Really, it's actually very, very nice breakfast. Everyone is getting ready for Suri's cattle jump in just over a week's time. His sisters are practicing the songs they'll sing. Duba's his eldest sister, so she'll be leading the singing, and she'll be first in line for the whip. Wow. And what in particular are you looking forward to? What is special about the day for you? Really? That's the most... For you, this is the most important thing? Really? When it happens, is it painful? Is it... She says it's not painful. It's not too painful. Yeah. I don't know that you're telling the truth. I think it's really painful. But it looks painful. What do you think of anyone that does not want to be whipped? What? Jamu takes me to another cattle jump just a few miles away. We arrive after the whipping, but in time for the main event. Jamu hasn't had his own ceremony yet. I ask him why every young man has to jump the cattle. So this is more than a coming of age. After he's jumped the cattle, a man can marry and have livestock of his own. The Mazar are here to line up the cattle. Phew. Now this man can get married, but before he does, he'll spend a few months as one of the Maza. These men have all recently jumped the cattle. They've left their families and spend their time moving from ceremony to ceremony. Word has spread about me jumping the cattle with Suri. Though it's a sacred ritual, no one has a problem with me wanting to do it. They seem excited that an outsider wants to give it a go. There's a lot of giggles and laughs, and of course I'm totally out of place. But it's friendly now, and I've been here a while, and they're all gathering around, and I'm getting more and more people wanting to shake my hand. And I've just got to get over it, haven't I? I look like a prize prune, but don't I always? Yeah. Jamu tells me that cattle jumps like this bring young men and women together from all over the ridge. As you might expect, there's a lot more than dancing going on. This dancing it's an unadulterated flirt. They're in there and they're getting down to it. And what would I do? You know, it's the wrong place for me to get stuck in. A couple of people have come over and say, "Look, come and dance," but I'm just going to leave them to it today. I think it's not for me, unfortunately. The next morning, I head off with half the village to a market town, a few hours' walk away. These are the first half-decent roads I've seen in the Omo Valley. Change is coming here, and fast. I wonder how this is affecting Hamar culture. Duba and Suri's other sisters are going to sell the family's spare sorghum and buy some things for the ceremony at the end of the week. Kyra, one of Suri's younger sisters, knows a boy who lives in the town.
Does he think differently of Hamar culture now that he is mixed with other people?
Kyra tells me some young people in town go to school and a few are questioning their traditions. Dimaka is a small town of a few thousand people, but it has shops, a health clinic and a police station. This side of the Omo Valley is much more developed than where I was last month. But I'm not the only outsider in town. In recent years, there's been a steady flow of affluent and intrepid tourists who, like me, have been drawn here by this fascinating culture. Duba is buying some ochre to colour her hair for Suri's ceremony. As well as selling local produce, the town is a gateway for goods from the outside world. The sisters are buying arak, strong alcohol which will be given out during the ceremony. There's not only new things here, there are new ideas too. Kerry was brought up in a nearby village and had a traditional childhood, but now she's one of the few Hamar girls who's been to school. I wonder what Kyra thinks of girls like Kerry. No one seems to know when ritual whipping started or why, But one thing seems to be clear. If you refuse to be whipped, you're not a Hamar woman. The Hamar make the most of their lush landscape. Every man has a few beehives which he stashes high up in acacia trees. For the past few days, Suri's father, Gopher, has been out collecting all of his honey.
Ukulena bokona imena. Eta buzulu. Gishono gosa indahan na me main. Indahan ampai. Kan.
Wow, that's good. That really, really is amazingly nice.
Yeah. What the thing?
I can honestly say, I really think this is the nicest honey I've ever had. So smooth.
Suri's cattle jump is only a few days away. The family has made a special shelter for the big day, and the Mazza come to bless it. This may only be a warm-up ceremony, but they're armed with bundles of whips. Alo, Suri's grandmother, arrives to preside over the blessing.
I didn't realise that on this occasion when they come in to bless this area, that there was going to be whipping as well.
The Mazza are given coffee, while the girls provoke them. Though they'll be whipped again on the day of Suri's jump, the sisters are eager to get their first scars today. I don't recognize Kyra. It's like she's in a trance. Anthropologists suggest whipping is not only about showing you're tough. Being scarred in this way strengthens a woman's bond with her male relatives. Suri is about to leave home and get his own livestock, but he'll help Kyra if she falls on hard times because she was whipped for him and she has the marks to prove it. Being scarred today is insurance for her future. The Mazza will spend the night under the shelter and I ask if I can join them. I've finally got a chance to speak to these mysterious men.
I've been kind of stood off to one side for most of the evening, but now finally I'm sat with them and we're having a chat, and it's just the lads and me really. So hopefully I'm going to really ask some probing questions and get to know these guys a little bit better. At least that's the aim.
The first thing I want to know is, do women ever whip men?
So the sister of the Ukuli.
So there's kind of a contract between sister and brother. If she's going to get whipped for you, you'd better not fall when you jump the cattle. If you do, she'll punish you.
She's angry and then she whips him.
I asked them why they have these rituals.
ora wadar saskan wana bumi misal bulem harata ora blabo mursur bulem yisa man dan isa kemati ay
ina mata ina bulainu sunke mana agarisi akui oguna antu kulanu buladi.
So nobody knows at the beginning.
No.
At the beginning, but it's the descendant, from past time to the now. And then we are unique with this bull jumping, the Hamar people. But the Nyangatom or the Bume ones cannot jump. Again, the Mursi cannot jump. So we are unique with our culture.
Though nobody knows its origin, only the Hamar cattle jump. The tribes of the Omo Valley define themselves by their rituals and customs. Some wear lip plates, others scar their bodies. The Hamar jump cattle. It's now 2 days till Suri's ceremony. At his hut, preparations are in full swing. His sisters are busy making beer. Fermented sorghum is rolled into balls and steamed. Dumpling stew in there. Millions. It's up to here, literally, with those balls. Honey and water will be added later. Kyra, do you like the beer? Do you ever fall over? Do you ever fall over? Then it can't be that good. And in the morning, do you have a bad head? Do you have a sore head? In the morning, do you have a headache? No. We need to get the recipe. There you go. A beer that gets you drunk, you fall over, but you don't have a headache in the morning. Inside the hut, even more sorghum is being ground to make beer. I asked Suri's mum why the drink is so important.
Burini ibanini wonna burin keda ashimati dia arna ko ampucha parti shabai nyash koro nyash amati da el onia
Am parsi shabama bulinta daw.
Bulinta kolay.
No.
Dagi.
Arna.
Guri bulay. Isade kala kolay.
It's been such a good harvest, Suri's family has 26 pots of sorghum. All will be made into beer for their guests. Suri's cattle jump will be followed by one hell of a party.
All the fun of a flip-out screen, I love it.
I'm now spending most of my nights in a hut with Kyra, Duba and the rest of Suri's immediate family. Though most of the beer will be kept back for the party, we're given some with our evening meal.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It's like sludge at the bottom. Yeah. It's very thick.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Ooh, it's very bitter. There's lots of bits.
Yeah.
Sour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dries the back of your throat kind of thing. And a quiet taste. Oh, it's like a paint stripper. Wonderful, thank you. There you go.
The girls and I get up at dawn to get milk for tomorrow's ceremony. Kyra shows me a novel way of getting an early morning drink.
Bloody hell, Kyra, what are you doing to me? Check that out. Can I have a go? Okay. Come on. Kyra, thank you. Oh my lord, that's... that was slightly different.
The other girls have been off getting milk from the rest of the family herd, but a special ceremony demands a special drink. There's something else to add to the mix. I've seen a single cow being bled before, but never a production line like this. The blood is stirred and the clots removed before it's added to the milk. One girl mixes the clotted blood with butter and roasts it up for breakfast.
And it tastes pretty good. Salt. Butter's obviously not salted, but it tastes quite salty. The blood, buttery and a bit chewy. But yeah, it's alright. Right. Delicacy. Would you have known it? Ooh. Just made a big mistake then. Tastes fine. Trying to swallow it is a very different thing. I tried to swallow it and then some of it got down here and the rest of it was still in my mouth. I had to bring it all back up again. It's an all or nothing swallow, this one. It's just so stringy. A big bit of chewing gum going down the back of your throat. This kind of put me off a bit. God.
At sunset, all the family descend on Suri's hut. There's a great atmosphere as we get in the mood for tomorrow's ceremony.
Everyone's going to stay here tonight. It's going to be really fun. Up all night, no doubt. And we've just had some beer, which is an offering before we can come into the household. And tomorrow is the big day, and it's ramping up already. It really is.
I'm beginning to feel accepted by the rest of Suri's extended family. They've started calling me Okuli, the one who will jump the cattle.
I'm not being teased, there's no bickering, there's none of the stuff that sometimes I get. It's just sort of like a wholesome, healthy acceptance that I'm part of the gang. And it's such a special day, it's a real honour. Just hope I can do my family proud tomorrow and succeed in the bull jump. That's my one wish. Got to get it right.
Suri's best friend is sorting his hair. This shows he is ready to jump the cattle.
This is the infamous hairstyle of the ukule. Today when he jumps, he's going to be right out here. Fantastic.
Suri's sisters have been joined by all of their female relatives. They've been drinking beer since daybreak. Alo, Suri's grandmother, has come to keep an eye on things. The Maza appear on the ridge. The first stage of the ceremony is about to begin.
Five or six girls around every Maza trying to persuade them that they want to be the one whipped first to prove their love for Suri and all the other complicated issues that go along with this.
I've really got to know Kyra and the other girls over the past few weeks. They're strong, confident young women. There's nothing submissive about them. I know now there's so much more to the whipping, but I still find it really hard to watch. Though they want to be beaten, it's obviously painful. As Suri's eldest sister, Duba has been whipped more than most. The Ethiopian government frowns upon ritualized whipping, and I've heard there was a cattle jump recently where no women were whipped. I wonder just how long this tradition will last. Relatives continue to arrive from far and wide. Gopher's busy looking after everyone. They're not just here to drink beer. They've come to watch Suri and me jump the cattle.
My biggest fear of all is not messing up Suri's day. It's very unusual for somebody else to do this with him. And although he's so keen for me to do it, and it's on his request that I'm doing it, still, I can't let myself take over his big day.
The mile to the cattle jump arena is one of the longest I've ever walked.
I really, truly do have a feeling of dread about this. I'm not at all confident. And I've got the butterflies.
Kyra, Duba and the others round up the cattle, smearing dung on them to make it more slippery. I'm told there are certain rituals I must go through before I'm ready to jump the cattle. Bands made from tree bark are tied around me in the shape of a cross. This is a symbol of power, which will protect me from bad things I've done in the past. Then I rub myself with sand to wash away the sins of my youth. Next, cow dung is smeared onto my body to give me strength.
Some cow dung. And I've seen this symbolism in Hamar culture a lot now. It's this cross that goes across the front and around the back. And today, I've done it symbolically with sand, with these vines, and now with cow dung. And I'm just about to do my jump.
Suri and I take off our shawls. The Hamar say we must be naked as if we're dead. We've died as children and are about to be reborn as men. Gopher has given Suri 2 cards. These represent the livestock he'll get when he becomes an independent man. The moment Suri follows them through the gate, he's left his father's home. We run off into the bush and must stay out of sight until the cattle are herded together.